Hello, Scorpio, and welcome to your Venus retrograde forecast for March 2017. Now, this works if you have your Sun, Moon, or Ascendant in Scorpio. Now, what I'm going to be talking about in this video is going to be what is Venus retrograde, what is it all about, and then I'm going to get more specific on your sign. What is Venus really trying to emphasize this month or trying to give you a lesson in? And then at the end of the reading, I'm going to be pulling out a daily guidance oracle deck card from the angels by Doreen Virtue to see what kind of guidance your angels have for you, Scorpio, if to try to help you out during this time of Venus retrograde. All right, Scorpio, so let's get to it. Alrighty, Scorpio, so let's get started. Venus retrograde, what does it mean? Well, Venus retrograde happens every 19 months, and during this time is when the planet Venus, the planet that rules love, relationships, money, aesthetics, pleasures, luxuries, practically anything that humans are obsessed about, yeah, that's what Venus practically rules. Anything that gives you pleasure and love and goodness and compassion and brotherhood and even justice too, because Venus rules Libra. And Libra is the sign of the scales, the sign of balancing out between two parties. So that's why it's such a relationship planet. It's actually the planet that helps us have this relationship with other people and this brotherhood. So it's a very crucial planet for the planet Earth. It's practically like our mother. Sometimes I try to think that the Earth is in between the father and the mother, Mars and Venus, and we're the child of it. So it's a very crucial planet. So it happens every 19 months. The planet moves backwards, and during this time we get a little bit of like the planet goes to sleep. So when the planet goes to sleep, we're not choosing love very easily. A lot of the things that we put under the rug that we just kind of swallow up or we let it slide. This month we're not letting it slide. We're speaking up. We can't hold our tongue anymore. And also, if you've been feeling like unfairly treated in any way, then this is also the month where justice gets served, okay? Venus is trying to bring some harmony. And when she goes into a retrograde, it's almost like a restart, an emotional restart, an emotional reboot before she starts going forward. Also, it's a time where we reevaluate a lot of the values that we have in our life. Venus, at the end of the day, really owns the whole idea of value. That's why it's luxury, money, and all the things that give us pleasure is because she's the one that brings the whole idea of value into things. So values are something crucial, something that we as a society we might be neglecting or abusing. So this is a time to really just reevaluate your values in relationships, your values in your in the way that you make money, your values in your own self, to try to align your inner self with your outer self, because that's what the true freedom means. Venus is retrograding in Aries, and Aries also has Uranus, the planet of freedom and rebellion. So Uranus really teaches us that the only way to truly have freedom in our lives is to be authentic with ourselves. That's when you don't feel hogged. That's when you can feel that you can just expand and roam around, that there's nothing really constricting you. That's why Uranus doesn't like following other people or doing what other people tell him to do, unless it feels authentic to him. So Venus is also retrograding over this, activating Uranus. So it's bringing a lot of energy of like, I need to be authentic to myself. What am I doing? Or I need to break out of this. I'm feeling constricted. I'm feeling like I can't just be myself. And you're analyzing it a lot too, because Mercury is also transiting with Venus and Uranus. So there could be a sudden communication about something that you just can't hold your tongue about. And you're also analyzing it a lot. You're also putting a lot of thought into it and really realizing, okay, what am I doing? And with you, Scorpio, it really has to do with your service to the world, your health, and your daily work. So there could be people at work that are challenging you, okay? They're challenging your work ethic. They're challenging the way that, be prepared to see how people are just going to stand up and see, like, okay, are you really following your routine? Are you really doing your routine? Are you really doing your work, your daily work, how you're supposed to be doing? So during this time, be prepared to see some challenges at the workplace, but they're going to smooth out, so don't worry about that. After Venus goes into direct motion, you have a really good time at work, okay? So don't stress about it. Just try to go with the flow this month. And also it has to do with your health. But Venus in the sixth house, it's a little weird sometimes because Venus loves to indulge. Venus loves sweets, loves savory foods and really indulging foods. She doesn't like plain foods. And she's now in the house of health. So during this month, Scorpio, you could be feeling like overindulging in sweets or overindulging in savory foods, but try to take it in the opposite way. Try to see it more in like, you know what, I'm going to take this month as my detox month. I'm going to detoxify my body. I'm going to drink a lot of water because Venus also feels beautiful when she's healthy. So you can go either way. Like you feel really good when you're, overindulging in food, or you can feel really good when you look at your body and you just worked out and you're feeling alive and you're feeling, the endorphins in your body after a workout. So try to see it more in a way of like, we're going to detoxify my body today. We're going to detoxify my not only my body, myself. I'm going to eat better. Maybe this will be a great time to just kind of go a little, vegan for the month, where you're not eating death and you're not eating, death in you, and you can just fully have a cleanse. Also, it has to do with an emotional cleansing, okay? It has to do with an emotional cleansing of yourself. So it's also a great time to really sit down and write your needs in love, especially because you do have your planet Mars, your ruling planet Mars, transiting the house of relationships. So you could be very passionate about relationships for those single Scorpios that are looking for love. You could be very like driven to go and get the love that you want. And then for the coupled Scorpios, you could be having so much passion in your relationship that it can turn into a fight or a conflict if this passion doesn't get channeled the correct way, okay? So if you're having any issues with love, because I know Mars is here, so you're definitely feeling a lot of drive in it. If you're running, if you're looking for love or in a relationship, I definitely suggest that in Venus retrograde, because nonetheless it's about relationships, sit down with your partner or by yourself and write down on a piece of paper all your needs in love. The real needs that you need to feel fulfilled in your relationship. Really think about it, Scorpio. Really think about what are actions and things that if I know my husband or my wife did, then I can really feel just at ease, and I don't feel restless, and I don't feel annoyed, and I don't feel frustrated, and I don't feel any of these things, Because we also need to think about what are my needs. Sometimes we don't even really sit down and think about this. So Scorpio, be selfish. Really think about, okay, if I don't know how to cook, I need somebody that knows how to cook, or whatever it is. But it will be fantastic for you to really use this energy to kind of organize and detoxify yourself emotionally. Detoxify yourself emotionally from a bad relationship, or if you've been hanging out with or even like relationships at work. During this time, there could be a little bit of like a crush going on at your workplace as well. But you definitely need to sit down and think about what relationships are actually good for me, empowering me, that I actually see that something can come out of it, or in what it's just my lust and my, my wanting to conquer somebody else. So try to make that definition in between. Because Mars is a lover, because I'm saying Mars because that's your ruling planet, Mars as a lover is very much of a conqueror, okay? So think about that. Maybe, are you getting into relationships just because you want to conquer others? And then when you have power over them, then what happens? Are you willing to stay? Are you really willing to do it? Or this is just, So try to see your cycles. Try to see your habits in relationships too. This is a way to detoxify yourself from it as well. It's definitely a healthy time to really just leave it. And especially after 420, because at the beginning of the month, you're going to be very romantic, maybe being with your kids, being very creative, because the sun is going to be in Pisces in your fifth house of creativity and children and romance. But by 420, when it goes into Aries and the new astrological calendar it starts, then that's when I see you really feeling like, okay, I'm feeling good in my body, I'm feeling healthy, I got my life organized, you know, I have my work and life really well balanced, I know what I want in love. And by then, at March 28th, we have a new moon. So by the new moon, you're going to be able to just plant the seed of your intention for the future. And this is going to be fantastic. Okay, Scorpio? So just go with the flow for the month. And yeah, don't make any major life-changing decisions during Venus retrograde as well, like a breakup or anything like that, because you know you're not having all the facts completely. So let's see, what message do we have for Scorpio for Venus retrograde March 2017? All right, we got the card assertiveness. Oh, this one's good for you, Scorpio. You're good at this. This situation can be healed gently and with love, as you've requested. Yet there's also a need for your strength and truthfulness with other people involved. You see what we were talking about? We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving your strength and guiding your words. See exactly what I was letting you know, Scorpio. So if you are having quarrels with your loved ones, if you're having some sort of like friction with your loved ones, this is the time to detoxify yourself by taking in the assertiveness of doing it, and also just having the strength to be truthful with the other people involved. Okay, Scorpio, you're very intuitive, very, very intuitive, so intuitive that you can definitely just you know, you can sense the currents of people, you can sense the currents of others, you can sense like what they're gonna do next. And this gives you lots of power, Scorpio. This puts you in a position of power, and you know it very well. You know very well that, okay, I know what this person's about to do, so I'm in a position of power where I can kind of manipulate them in a way that I want them to go. But sometimes this little game can backfire. So it's saying be assertive, not to manipulate others, not to like move the currents your own way. Be assertive to ask for the things that you want, to just be straightforward, Scorpio, and tell in your face, this is what I'm looking for. Can you deliver it to me? Can you please me? And be honest with the people that are involved in this situation as well. And this is going to set you free. This is finally going to be able to set you free. So, and just be assertive. Life is saying you take the charge of being assertive. You take the charge of being honest. The angels are going to be right next to you. Okay, Scorpio? All right, Scorpio, thank you so much for letting me do your reading today. It was wonderful. I hope this was of help to you. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And please leave any comments to see how your Venus retrograde is going. This is a safe space to really share. And I'll be seeing you for next videos. Alrighty, Scorpio. Bye.